Sawadee Krap. Welcome to the Think Pink podcast. This week, it's a topic which I think dealing with today's people is so important, and something that I think once you realize it, it might be the thing that changes you and makes you want to fix that problem. And it's the whole having to re-identify and leaving the old you behind to take steps in life to move up and move on and be the best version of yourself. I say it over and over and over again about being the best version of yourself and stop wanting to be a loser and all that sort of stuff. But, you know, we have an identity and we identify as a particular person, and that's who, you know, our conditioning and who we've created, whether it be through our upbringing, whether it be through what, you know, what's shaped us with, whether it be negative or positive. But we create this identity of who we are, and disassociating ourselves with that identity is, I think, scary to people because it's not comfortable. You know, like the older generation, there was no fear of losing your identity, because now identity is so out there on social media and stuff for everyone to see. So those people that are looking at you and that you know are looking at you, and you've put out certain information on social media, so people who know you think that they know you, and you think that that's how they look at you. So you don't even realize subconsciously that you don't want to be that person anymore. Like that you don't realize that you are that person, I should say. And that it's actually kind of, you feel like you're being forced into conforming to being said person, when in fact you don't actually have to be, and you can step away from that identity, get yourself as uncomfortable as possible, and step up to the next level and create the best version of yourself. Don't let your identity own you. You own your identity, so you have the right and the privilege to change that identity whenever you feel. And that doesn't mean be a fake you. It means be unapologetically you, but also genuinely you, where you do what needs to be done to be the best version of yourself, where you associate yourself with the people that hold you back, and, you know, choose the right friendship groups and choose the right group of people for, whether it be your Muay Thai training, whether it be work, whatever it happens to be, whether you're a business person. This is, you know, it's not necessarily just fighters. People are held back from being the best business person they can be due to they associate themselves, and I'm guilty of this. I don't see myself as a good businessman. I see myself as a good Muay Thai guy. And now I'm doing the things that it takes to be a businessman also. Put the things in place that, you know, that fill up those spaces where my shortcomings are. I'm not naturally a business person. I don't come from a business sort of background. Like, if I'm going to put it bluntly, I come from a taxpayer background where, you know, you finish in a public, you get educated in a public school, and you don't do much aside from getting out into the workforce and working and paying your taxes and all that kind of stuff. So no one in my family has ever started their own business. I'm the first person to do so, and it was a scary thought, which is why I didn't associate myself with being a businessman until recently. Whereas now I'm doing the things that it takes to run a basic business and all that kind of stuff, but not making the money that I should be with the investment that I'm putting in. So that's where it works on my side of things, where, you know, as a fighter, I was probably similar in certain ways, because no one in my family's tough. No one in my family had done anything like that. One of my cousins had a few boxing fights on my father's side, but I'm the first person really to step out of the box and go down the fighter pathway. As I said, like, the taxpayer pathway is what my family is. It's just be comfortable and don't excel in anything particular and just exist. And I never, this is one thing, I never associated myself with being just someone who exists. I've always wanted to be different. I've always wanted to do things that no one else had the balls to do. And now I look at myself and I'm like, fuck, like, I've just done some amazing shit over the last 22, 23 years. I'm excelling in an area where I'm not naturally fitting because I've stepped away from that comfort. I've stepped away from the things that were holding me back, and I've created a new being, and that new being is the one you see in front of you, you know? Like, I look at myself as someone very special and someone in the sport who's, you know, got a special place, but there's no reason why any of you guys can't be the same. You need to get uncomfortable as soon as possible. And that doesn't mean, like, in your training creating difficulty that doesn't need to be there, but it means pushing yourself beyond breaking every time, not allowing yourself to break when you feel like you are breaking, creating a tougher you, getting away from the people that blow smoke up your ass instead of the people that tell you the truth and tell you where you need to be. It means stopping being a pussy. Pussies are comfortable, whereas that's not what you want to be. You don't want to be comfortable. You don't want to be that guy who, you know, you want to do everything it takes, taking yourself away from your comfort zone to then find the comfort in all those difficulties. That those difficulties then just become part of the pathway, and you learn how to do the difficulties more streamlined, whether it be your sprints or your kicking or whatever it is. Like, there's always things where you need to give 100% effort, and that's those things that make the decision to do it, or, you know, people go down the wrong path of making every sparring session like more difficult than it needs to be, or making their weight cut bigger than it needs to be because they're trying to create the grind. Like, you need to streamline the grind so that you get 100% results, because it doesn't matter how easy it is then, how easy you make it, but you make it so that you get the results the easiest way possible, the most streamlined way possible, which is why, you know, you add in things like nutrition, you add in strength and conditioning. Those things make the end result easier to get to. Yes, they take more time. Yes, they take more effort, but they take less drama and less suffering to get there. So the lesson for today is disassociate yourself with your identity. Your identity doesn't need to be you. You need to reset your identity, and having two identities is fine. You have your Muay Thai person, you have your outside of Muay Thai person, or you have your business person, your outside of business person, like your personal life person, you know? So be able to make that alter ego and make that person, that alter ego, totally different to the person who you identify as. When the bell goes, boom, your identity changes. So there's my lesson for today. Back next week with a guest, and yeah, I thank you all still for your support, for helping me build this. I'm still enjoying it. You know, numbers are growing. Some episodes now are getting some good numbers compared to where I was. So I'm happy with this. You know, I'll keep doing it. I'll keep slowly growing. But yeah, thank you very much for your support, and back again next week. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. If you can watch the whole video, if you've got to this point, I appreciate you a lot. Thank you very much, guys. Khop khun krap.